Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Playing World of Tanks. I'm AJ, and today we'll be looking at a game that I had in my Object 430 version 2, which is the Russian tier medium tank. Sorry for not having a lot of content the last week on my channel. The reason is the campaign is going on, and for a change I actually took part in it, and because of that, you know, there was a lot of delay in like posting videos and getting content up, because generally there's 3 to 4 hours just spent sitting in the lobby waiting for your battle to pop or listening to your callers to like go over the battle plan. Other than that, some of the older replays got destroyed. One of my hard disks failed recently, so I had to buy a newer hard disk and install it in the computer that I have. And so hopefully we won't have any technical problems now, and after this week, the campaign should be over and we should be back to regularly scheduled programming. Now, having said that, if you're new to the channel, generally what we tend to do here is we take a game that I did fairly well in and try to sort of like take out what the thought process was and kind of like explain to you why I did certain things the way I did, and hopefully help you be better players at World of Tanks as well along the process. So first of all, what I generally like to do on Himmelsdorf is actually, in a fast medium tank, I generally try to go to the hill. And one of the things you want to keep in mind is you want to, once you're actually starting to do that, you want to look over the list of the enemy team and make out, whenever you're trying to do this to contest a point that requires speed, you always want to sort of like know what the faster enemy tanks are. Like for example, on mines, if you're trying to contest the hill, you want to see if the enemy has Cromwells or, you know, Hellcats or Scouts, because generally those tanks will make it up to the hill just about as fast as you in a medium tank. So if you see the odds in your favor, generally it's a good idea to contest that certain point, but if you can't, then just do enough damage where they are crippled enough to not use the hill effectively. So over here I kind of like figured the few tanks that I would meet would be probably the Scouts and the T-54, and those are the ones that showed up. The RU-251 it tries to take me on, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the hit points nor the armor to be in a sustained fight with the Object 430, and in that process he kind of like loses most of his hit points. I managed to put a shot in the cupola of the VZ111, and that is about the only weak spot that the VZ has if he's hull down. If you're driving a tier 10, which you can always do, this is true for the VZ111 and the 1.4 as well, you can try to slam one of the regular AP rounds straight through the side of its turret, but it's generally really hard to do, and the chances of actually that happening is not very high. Now I came back just to make sure that the enemy T-54 didn't get around me, and as soon as I saw that he was taken care of, I decided, you know, now is a good time to sort of like start checking out this VZ. Our scout decides he's gonna just go rush the VZ111, and you know, I can't just let him go in by himself, so I decide that this is a good opportunity as I need to go and help the scout as well. I managed to pin him on the move. I was actually aiming for his lower plate, and that was a lucky shot. I didn't think that would actually connect. Now, one of the other things you want to keep in mind when you're going on the move and trying to fire against lightly armored targets, you want to use the auto aim feature that's available in World of Tanks by default, and I think by default it's bound to your right mouse key, and that would help you at least point the turret in the right direction. And if he's lightly armored, chances are you're just going to pin without actually trying to aim for weak spots, like the Crusader was, but I unfortunately am not able to pin him. Now at this point I'm using the dead Crusader SP as a shield to cover my lower hull, which is the actual weak spot on this tank, and just leave the enemy to shoot at my turret. At this range, I think I should be more than a match for the Tiger 2 and his gun. But the problem is there are two of them firing, and it seems like they know what the weak spot on the enemy, on the Object 430 is, and that is the top of the turret, and that is exactly where I get panicked. Now, I'm putting on the hurt on these two, but they are being relentless at this point. But the good news is there's 2 enemy tanks that are distracted by me, and they are just wasting most of their effort trying to kill 1 tank. And now we up the ante by adding a 3rd tank to the equation, and this is why it's generally a very bad idea to sort of like be all focused in on just 1 tank. Tiger 2 is almost dead. I stopped firing heat rounds just because at this point I don't think I need them to pin the SU-122-54. I tried to get to the side of the Tiger 2 thinking he wasn't well angled, sorry, but he was, so I unfortunately bounced. Over here I make 2 mistakes. I should have gone towards the left of the Crusader SP and gotten around the SU-122-54. And the second thing is I should have actually tried to track him, because I was going to take a shot regardless. Now, once I'm engaged in this brawl, I'm keeping in mind what the SU-122-54's reload time is, and you know, when I think he's fully reloaded, I'm gonna make a move to sort of like get around him. So, fortunately for me, he's not that good of a shot, and I managed to get around him and take him out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Playing World of Tanks.